What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and you know, this might be a video that people look forward to even more than my top 10 favorite characters video, and hopefully I don't have to make this one 4 times today because I'll pay a little bit better attention. Sorry about that, folks. But this video is my top 10 worst / lamest characters in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, and I have to say it was very easy making this list this time around. Because there's really not that many characters that I hate. I don't know, maybe I'm growing up. Maybe I'm at 37 finally growing up. Congratulations to me. But I actually did not hate the character list of this game. There are a lot of really great characters. A lot of characters that, you know, did I want in the game? Not necessarily, but I would have rather other characters, but they make sense in what they're trying to do with the game and with what they had to work with. Now, I know a lot of people are still sour and salty about Fantastic Four and X-Men, but, you know, it is what it is. We can only deal with what we have, and what we have is actually pretty good. Now, I always start off with 3 kind of honorable mentions, and these characters are not worst or lamest, but they are the most disappointing. The 3 most disappointing to me lost opportunities for all 3 of these characters. We'll start off with Surtur. He's a big fig. He should be a giant fig. He should be able to grow the size of Fin Fang Foom, and I think that is absolutely a missed opportunity. There's the only way, I mean, because he's a cool character. Look, I mean, I like him. I like him as a big fig. I think he's great. But if they were able to let him grow to be the size of even an Ant-Man or one of those characters, considering just how massive he is when you play against him in the level, that would have been perfect. But they did not, so we judge him accordingly. A lost opportunity. Another character that should have done more is Sandman. I know he's not just a complete copy and paste from LEGO Marvel Superheroes, but I really feel like there are some lost opportunities with him. I feel like he also could have turned into a big fig. I feel like there's just a lot of things they could have done with him that they didn't, and I think a lot of Spider-Man fans are a little disappointed in that. Again, just they could have grown him taller and whatever, but yeah, I don't want to sit here and harp on that. So Sandman, disappointing, could have done better. And my last of my most disappointing characters is Power Man. Alright, 3 games in a row we're using this version of Luke Cage. Like, they don't even use this version of Luke Cage anymore. We need, like, I'm not saying you have to do a Netflix version of Luke Cage, even though that would have been infinitely better, but modernize him. He does not need to be Power Man anymore. I do understand, you know, the only, you know, good thing is we do have a noir version of Luke Cage, but still, it's barely different, you know? I mean, he just basically took the tiara off his head. We need a modernized Luke Cage, and, you know, if he even appears in the 4th LEGO Marvel game, you know, it cannot be Power Man again, ever again. No more Power Man. All right, I know they've slightly changed the variation of Power Man, but like we're done with Power Man. He's not Power Man anymore. All right, so let's get a real Luke Cage. And without any further ado, let us dig into my top 10 lamest or worst characters in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. At number 10 on my list, we have SpiderUK. And I say that with acknowledgement that I'm actually okay with this character being in the game. My only exception that I would make is that there are so many members of the Spider-Verse that could have been in the game that he would not have been my pick. I'm going to concede I understand TT Games is in the UK. And I get it. I totally understand. I don't even begrudge them for picking SpiderUK, but when I have to make a top 10 list where the characters are pretty good, some character that I don't necessarily believe belongs on the list ends up making it there. So SpiderUK is that guy. I personally would have picked a number of Spider-Verse characters over SpiderUK. Penny Parker, SP//DR, I don't know how you really pronounce that, is an awesome looking version from the Spider-Verse that I would have loved to have seen. We can also talk about Kane as Scarlet Spider. His version would have been fantastic. And I think the one that a lot of people are disappointed is not in the game is Spider-Punk. So I think any of those three I personally would have picked. But again, I don't really begrudge them for picking SpiderUK. So there you go, number 10 on my list, SpiderUK. At number 9 on my list, it's kind of a 2-for-1 special here. Ragnarok is the actual character on my list. And the reason he is on my list is because we've had Ragnarok before. And other than having a name that is somewhat similar to the current Thor movie that is in theaters, Thor Ragnarok, there is no purpose of having him in the game. He doesn't fit into the story. And it just really doesn't make sense to have him. At least in the game that he was in, LEGO Marvel's Avengers, he fit in as because there were a lot of Civil War era characters. But I look at what they had to do here, and I don't know the reasoning. But this is the Krogan Warrior. And there's no Thor Ragnarok DLC for this game. So I think a lot of people would have much rather had Korg. Hey, man. I can't really do the rest. I think a lot of people would have rather had Korg. So it is disappointing to have this rehash of Ragnarok. He's not a lame character. Like, if you ever read Civil War and you understood anything about Ragnarok and what he's all about, you'd appreciate the character. But again, we've already had Ragnarok. We didn't really need him again. It's a wasted slot as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there are people that enjoy using him, but I'm not really... being a massive Thor fan, it really was not important to me. I would have much rather taken away this slot and made it Korg, or even found another Asgardian that we could have put in the game. You know, even as a bad guy, you could have had so many that they haven't been used, like Gore the God Butcher. That would have been a really cool character, especially with, you know, Unworthy Thor kind of coming to an end. I mean, I would even, if we were going to rehash somebody, I would have rather the comic Malekith, because that character looks awesome. So anyway, at number 9, Ragnarok, and a lack of Korg. And I don't know why they couldn't put Korg in the game. Maybe it's licensing, I don't know, but it seems like it would have been perfect. At number 8, we have Aunt May. And, you know, I probably could have put J. Jonah Jameson in here too, but at least he fits into the story. There is no point in having Aunt May in this game, and as a matter of fact, I thought this was the type of character we were getting out of the game. This is a wasted character slot. We've already done Aunt May before. Whoa, that came out wrong. She's already been in the game before, and we really... There is nobody... Even the biggest of Spider-Man fans, there's no possible way people would have been disappointed if Aunt May was not in this game. She serves no purpose. It's, I mean, I would, I don't know. She could possibly be number 1 on my list if not for personal reasons. You know, they did such a great job of getting the useless, pointless characters out of the game, and it's just a little sad that, you know, couldn't throw maybe Richard Rider back in instead of Aunt May. So, you know, I made her one of the last characters I unlocked simply because I could care less. Maybe I'm alone in this. I seriously doubt it. I'm pretty sure every last one of you will agree with me and say no to Aunt May. But, hey, you know, it is what it is, and that's my number 8. At number 7 on my list, we have Chipmunk Hunk. And quite frankly, he probably should be a lot higher on my list, but he's not. He somehow finds his way here, even though he has chipmunks crawling all around him. What is this all about? I will talk more about my disappointment in... Oh my god. What is he doing? He has... Look at that. That's unforgivable. He has a bushy little tail. Wow. I don't even know where to begin with this character. I just don't. I can't even. I don't know. This character is just atrocious. And what's even worse, and what I cannot forgive them for, is I didn't even know this was a thing. I was happy in my little corner of the world, ignorant to the fact that there was a Chipmunk Hunk. And now I can never go back to where I used to be. But, you know, that's just number 7. How about number 6? We have Koi Boy. And what the actual, yeah. Wow. Like, this, now, I can't tell you which character has the dumber name. I kind of feel like this is a character that, like, would have been lame in, like, the 1940s. And what's worse is he's not even, like, if we're going to sit there, all right, not we, because I don't, but if you're going to sit there and make fun of Aquaman, then, you know, you have to, like, make 40 times more fun of Koi Boy. The one thing that I will give him is, for some weird reason, he does swim faster than Atuma. But Atuma is like infinitely cooler, and you can use a lot of Atuma to build Skeletor, so there's that. But wow, Koi Boy is the ultimate of terrible, and I hate him, and I hate Chipmunk Hunk too. So yeah, they're stupid. 6 and 7, both very stupid. At number 5, we have Squirrel Girl, and wow, what a terrible character. I hate her as well a lot, and I think it's pretty well documented just how much I despise this terrible, awful, garbage character. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much I should harp on it, but Squirrel Girl is awful. She is so awful that also number 4 on my list, we have Squirrel Girl, the worst character in the history of all comic books. I mean, think of who you think the worst is, and no, she's worse. If you like her for some reason, I don't understand you. We can't be friends. I don't understand. What is the appeal of this character? She's stupid. She's not adorable. She's not goofy. She's stupid. And why do people take her so seriously? You know what? At number 3 on my list, we also have Squirrel Girl, because even in the world of noir in somewhat black and white, she is still terrible and still awful and still, like, why? Why are we doing this to me? Why does every game have to do this to me? Like, what have I done to these games? I just try to get people to buy these games, but they keep putting this awful genocidal maniac in our games. And you know what? You know what? That's right. At number 2, we also have Squirrel Girl. Literally, the most murderous, disgusting character in the history of Marvel Comics. We can't have Deadpool in this game because he has a potty mouth in his movie, and, well, I mean, there's Fox, but still. But because he kills people indiscriminately, but we have Squirrel Girl, who literally throws grenade squirrels, murders squirrels. How many squirrels have died in this world because of Squirrel Girl? A lot. She acts like she loves them, but she doesn't. She uses animals as weapons. I'm shocked PETA hasn't shut her down yet. She literally throws squirrel grenades. And wait, we're not done yet. Because, yes, that's right. At number 1 on my list of the worst/lamest characters in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, we have Nova Prime. Yeah, that's right. Not Squirrel Girl, because this is Nova Prime, Glenn Close. And I hate that, because Nova Prime should be Rich Rider, aka the real Nova, aka the best character in all of Marvel Comics. Okay, maybe not that. I will let you guys all have your own opinion. I understand why this version is in the game, but it breaks my heart every time I see Nova Prime and don't see Rich Rider, and I see Glenn Close, and I can't forgive it. So for once in my life, I'm not going to put Squirrel Girl at the top of my list because this says Nova Prime and it's not Rich Rider, and that's all that matters to me. So we're making progress. Squirrel Girl 2 through 5, I can live with that. Nova Prime, aka not Rich Rider, I cannot. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a Squirrel Girl fan, don't at me. Don't at me.